Lesson 26. Transportation. Vocabulary. City features.
Welcome back. Today we're going to quickly review count and non-count nouns. We're going to learn enough, too much, and too many with nouns. Then we're going to learn indirect questions. First, let's learn some new vocabulary. Take a look at your screen. A village or town is where people live. They are small. Next picture. A city is another place where people live. It is big. A city has many blocks. Blocks are squares of streets. Most blocks have a bus stop. If a city has a subway or metro, there are subway stations. They may be near the corner of two streets. Some cities have very tall buildings. These are called skyscrapers. Each level of a skyscraper is called a floor. People use elevators to go up and down in these buildings. And most cities have parks. There may be fountains in these parks. There are benches. People sit on these benches. There may be a square in the middle of a town, village, or city. There are many important buildings in a town, village, or city. Now these are banks, post offices, hospitals, and police stations. People like to walk in a city. They can walk up the streets. They can walk down the streets. They can turn left. They can turn right. They can walk straight. There are sidewalks next to the streets for people to walk on. These people are called pedestrians. Sometimes there are parking meters next to the sidewalks for cars.
Count and non-count nouns.
Now let's review count and non-count nouns. Let's look at some examples. You must go up 3 blocks to find the bank. There is only one bus in the village. That building has 25 floors. This park needs a bigger fountain. So a count noun is a noun that can be counted. There can be an indefinite article, for example, a or an, in front of a count noun. Or there can be plural forms of a count noun, blocks, buildings, fountains. Blocks, bank, bus, village, building, floors, park, and fountain are examples of count nouns. Now, let's look at non-count nouns. More examples. You need money to take the bus. She can go to the travel bureau for some advice. The traffic is terrible today. I need some information about the train schedule. So a noun count noun is a noun that cannot be counted. You can't use an indefinite article in front of it. And there is usually no plural form. So money, advice, traffic, and information are all examples of non-count nouns. All right, now let's practice. Linda, how many skyscrapers are there on Ibiza?
There are no skyscrapers. Most of the buildings are small.
Oh, okay. Alberto, how much money does a train cost in Rome?
That's a difficult question. They are very expensive at night. If you go far, they are very expensive. People should take the metro.
Okay, thank you, Alberto. Sylvia, how many blocks are there in your hometown?
There are many blocks. Sarajevo is a very big city. There are hundreds of blocks. There are many beautiful parks. The water is nice.
Great. What are some of the count nouns we used, Alberto?
We use skyscrapers, buildings, blocks, and cities.
Very good. We also used parks, trains, and metro. Linda, what were some of the non-count nouns we used?
We used money and water.
Okay, good. Thank you, everyone. Now it's time to look and listen.
Look and listen.
There are many avenues in New York. The pollution is terrible in that city. There is never any room on that bus. The museum is on that street.
Read and repeat. Enough.
We are now going to learn some new quantifiers. The first one we will look at is enough. Let's read some examples. I don't have enough coins for the parking meter. The city doesn't have enough workers to clean the parks properly. Paul doesn't have enough time to walk to Oak Street. Erica has enough apples for the picnic in the park. So enough comes in front of count nouns and uncount nouns. It is called a quantifier. It means the necessary amount of something. It is usually used after the verbs to be and to have. The negative of enough is not enough. Okay, let's practice. Linda, are there usually enough taxis on Ibiza?
Yes, there are enough taxis. Many people walk. Taxis are expensive.
All right, thank you, Linda. Sylvia, are there enough hotels in your city?
Yes, there are enough hotels in Sarajevo. Sarajevo isn't a huge city. There are many hotels because the Olympics were there. Many of the hotels are cheap.
Oh, good answer. Alberto, are there enough parks in Rome for the Italian people and the tourists?
No, there are not enough parks. They are always building new hotels. We need some new parks near the hotels. The old parks are very dirty.
Oh, okay. Thank you, everyone. Now we have enough time to look and listen.
Look and listen.
There aren't enough bus stops in this city. The city needs more bus stops. We have enough markets in the street. We don't need another one. Another market isn't needed. The street cleaners don't have enough workers. This building certainly has enough floors.
Read and repeat.
Okay, so we use enough in front of count or non-count nouns. Again, it means the necessary amount of something. Not enough is the negative. Here are some examples. Alan doesn't have enough time to walk to the metro.